Welcome to Intersection Conversations, the show where we dive into the ever-evolving world of workplace diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm your host, Jason, and today we're exploring the roots of our prejudices, this sense of primacy. Although many of our biases have been and may not be our fault, we will discuss ways we can begin to take cognitive control of those prejudices and biases. The term browning of America refers to the demographic trend in the United States where the proportion of non-white individuals, particularly those of Hispanic or Latino, Asian, and African-American descent, is increasing. This shift is due to various factors, including higher birth rates in these communities and immigration patterns. The term encapsulates the changing complexion of the American populace, moving away from a majority white population to one that is more racially and ethnically diverse. While this demographic shift reflects the rich tapestry of cultures and backgrounds that make up the nation, the discussion around the browning of America can lead to unintended consequences, often stemming from how the conversation is framed and perceived. So the discussion can provoke anxiety among some segments of the white population who may feel that their cultural or societal primacy is threatened. This anxiety can manifest as resistance to demographic change, increased support for restrictive immigration policies, or a rise in nationalist sentiment. 2, the discourse around the browning of America can contribute to political and social polarization. It can become a divisive topic in political rhetoric, with some using it to stoke fear or resistance against demographic change, while others advocate for more inclusive policies and recognition of America's multicultural identity. 3, stereotyping and generalizations. The term browning can inadvertently homogenize diverse groups, overlooking the rich cultural, linguistic, and social diversity within Hispanic, Asian, African American, and other communities. It can lead to stereotyping or assumptions about these groups' cultural practices, economic status, or political affiliations. 4, backlash against multiculturalistic discussions about the browning of America can lead to a backlash against multicultural initiatives, bilingual education, or affirmative action policies. Some individuals might perceive these efforts as giving undue advantage to minority groups or as a threat to the cultural status quo. As the demographic shift is discussed, there's a risk of attributing social issues like crime, unemployment, or educational disparities solely to race or ethnicity, ignoring broader systemic factors. This can perpetuate racial stereotypes and hinder efforts to address the root causes of these issues. Economic anxiety, the demographic shift can be framed in a way that associates certain racial or ethnic groups with economic competition, leading to fears about job security, wage stagnation, or changes in the labor market. This can fuel xenophobia and hostility towards immigrants or minority groups. Addressing these unintended consequences involves careful, nuanced discussions about demographic changes. It requires promoting an understanding that America's strength lies in its diversity and that the demographic shift is a natural evolution of the nation's identity. Efforts should focus on fostering inclusivity, celebrating cultural diversity, and ensuring equitable opportunities for all individuals, regardless of their background. It also involves challenging stereotypes, addressing systemic inequalities, and promoting a narrative that sees demographic change not as a threat, but as an integral part of the nation's ongoing story. Effective strategies to manage and navigate these reactions include clear communication, education, empathy, and the creation of inclusive spaces where individuals can express their concerns and engage in constructive dialogue. If you appreciate our approach diving into the roots of personal bias and other social reform topics with intellectual rigor and empathy, make sure to subscribe for future series released every month. And please subscribe and share so we can continue to empower you to use as your voice. See you in our next series as we continue conversations, equipping you with tools to challenge patterns that are enabling oppression through unconscious bias and prejudice. Be